Welcome, everyone. My name is Lucas Acosta. I'm the founder and CEO of Fuji, and I'm really excited because for the next 19 minutes, I get to show you some actionable information on what you can do about cybersecurity in 2025. We've trimmed all the fat, and this is specifically for medical practices using Mac products. Whether you have one or two Macs, or maybe you're all Mac, you're in the right spot. This is all that we do. And I want to take a moment as we get started just to talk about the risk that we're dealing with from our perspective, what it's looking like. And I want to start with a quote that I recently read in the New York Times from one of the leading minds in AI right now. Half of all entry level white collar jobs will be wiped out, and unemployment will spike to 10 to 20% in the next 1 to 5 years. Now, this is shocking on many levels, but I'm not sharing this because I'm concerned for my or your jobs right now. But I am sharing this because I'm deeply concerned about what this means for the cybercrime industry. You see, a lot of the scams, most of the scams that take place are being done by people who are held hostage against their will. I know this is morbid. We're getting right into it. And they're going to be replaced more and more with AI. And so, as if we're not already seeing enough phishing and enough scam attempts right now, it's only going to get worse. And my goal for you is to be prepared for this oncoming wave of AI based cybercrime. So, whether you use this today to talk to your leadership or to talk to your IT provider, we hope that this can be valuable information for you. So to get started, I want to just emphasize we know you're smart. You're obviously running your practice. You might have founded the practice, but the truth is that there are vectors everywhere, whether that's your bank, your employees' accounts, even your patients, because now scams are starting with SMS texts and with personal email accounts. And the grammar is getting better with AI already from what we're seeing. Our filters catch all of it, but we still like to read and kind of see what those scams are looking like. And they are getting more and more sophisticated. You're also up against a thriving economy. I want to show you a fascinating price index that you may not have seen before that will show you exactly how valuable your credentials are. There's this price index where you can see what the going rate is for, say, your credit card information. Right here, a stolen online bank login with a minimum of $100 on the account, you can buy it for $40 on the dark web. But if you keep scrolling down, see a verified Stripe account is $1,200, crypto accounts, social media accounts. But if you scroll toward the bottom, forged IDs for $200. You can purchase all of this on the dark web today. But you can also purchase malware on infected computers right now. So for $1,600, you can purchase 1,000 devices that have already been compromised or DDoS attacks to bring down their network. And so this is public information, and I share this to say that you are a small part of the cybercrime industry, and the person that's initiating the attack is different than the person that might be trying to steal data. Okay. The people that are just getting your credentials are then selling it. It's a multifaceted economy at this point. And the truth is that there's no silver bullet. But that's why we're here today. It's a lot like I'm into mountain biking, and it's a lot like how to not get injured in mountain biking, or, pick your sport, if you will. And sure, there's a lot of steps you could do, like wear the right protection, work on your technique, use proper components, like high quality components, make sure you're riding in the right conditions, got to get the 7 to 8 hours of sleep, and also lift weights to help with your response times and with recovery if you do get an injury. And cybersecurity is the same thing. It's not just one thing that you can do to protect yourself, but we want to set up our clients so they have the best chances of mitigating those threats in the event of an attack. Now, it does happen to small businesses every day. That's how we get a lot of our new clients is after something has already happened, unfortunately. And what's sad is that a lot of this could be prevented. And I have an example of a client that came to us because they had an account intrusion, this practice of 12 employees. It was a dermatology practice, and they got in through the nurse practitioner's email account. So you'd think, that's a smart person, very sharp computer user, but they got into the email account. Now, um, they were able to figure out what was going on and then reach out to us because they didn't have an IT provider. And we were able to isolate that before anything had happened. But they had already started sending emails to their lawyers and other contacts of theirs to try a longer term relationship. And there were already email rules in place to delete incoming emails from their lawyers so they could slowly kind of work on that scam that usually takes anywhere from 1 to 3 months to reroute funds. So these types of attacks are happening all the time. And what's crazy, you guys can just take this free advice right here, is you could have prevented this. And the first step is to create a DMARC and DKIM verification on your domain. Your IT provider should be able to do this for free. And additionally, if you're still using the spam filter that just came with your Google or your Microsoft account, you've got to improve your protection there. We use a product called Avanon, and Avanon, you can go sign up for it yourself right now. Our cost is $12 per user per month because we have additional things that we offer on top of Avanon, but I highly recommend that to anyone on today's webinar. And another thing you should always do is just verify over the phone anytime someone's talking about money. So we tell this to new employees as well, because new employees are often the target of attacks. Anytime someone internally is talking about the exchange of money, just pick up the phone and call them to be safe. Now, if you're like me, you've kind of wondered, like, man, have scams gotten a lot worse in the past few years? And the truth is that they have. And what's crazy about this industry is that it actually took an uptick during COVID. The reason why is because the lockdowns that we all experienced were also experienced by criminal rings, crime rings across the world, a lot in Southeast Asia and as well, that ran illicit drugs and human trafficking campaigns. And what they've done is they've pivoted to use those same techniques to make scam centers. And so that is the reason why we're seeing so much right now in terms of volume. What's wild is that there's also no regulation whatsoever on your IT provider, just like us at Fuji. Any Joe can put up a sign and start offering IT services and cybersecurity services, which I find interesting because to even cut someone's hair, you have to have a barber's license, but anyone can sell cybersecurity protection, with a decent website. So, please, just take a moment to ask for referrals or references whenever you do engage with an IT provider, because the climate is changing so fast. You want someone who has evidence that they're fast moving and they're not still using 5-year-old techniques, because AI isn't making it any easier for us. So we do want to help you. No strings attached. Want to offer you something complimentary toward the end here that will get you well on your way, whether you use that offer with your current provider or if we can help you with that. It's something we haven't done before that we're excited to do. So my goal today, we've already actually done the first one, is to help you understand the risk that we're facing right now. Next, we're going to talk about implementing some actionable steps. And then we want to get you some individualized help from our team. So let's talk about specific types of attacks and how you can make some actionable steps today in your organization. So phishing is still the number one risk today. It's how a lot of attackers start their intrusions. And what's wild is that a quarter of these attacks we don't even know where they started. And the reason for that is because um, online logs of our email accounts and storage services are usually purged after 12 months. So the reason I have this bullet here is to let you know that if you're experiencing a breach, some kind of compromise today, that was probably started about a year ago. And so we're really fans of being in the game of prevention, so that we can mitigate all of those risks. And newsflash, they don't care if you're using Mac or PC. All of what we're talking about today does affect Macs as well. And that's part of why we're doing these webinars, is to get the word out. And in fact, in the cybersecurity industry, the white hat hackers that are paid to test environments love Mac-based businesses because Mac users have a false sense of security. So I hope you learn from that and don't have a false sense of security. Now, what can we do about phishing? Okay, here's some steps you can take today. So first of all, by the way, when we're done with the slide, you can just screenshot it and share it with your team if you like. Call people whenever something feels fishy. Always use unique passwords. We're going to talk about passwords here in a little bit. Also, enforce your multi-factor authentication. Don't just enable it, which a lot of companies have, but enforce it. I can't tell you, if you can just enforce MFA, you will mitigate about 95% of attacks. I mentioned this earlier. I really want everyone to be using an AI-powered filter. We don't get paid by Avanan for you to just go to avanan.com and sign up for them. But if that's the best fit for you right now, I highly recommend it. What we offer is an AI-powered email filter with a 24/7 SOC on top of that, which is a security operations center. So we can get notified when we detect fraudulent activity, suspicious logins, and it works as an email filter as well. So a lot of times I get asked, well, what's the bare minimum if I could just get started today? Use unique passwords and enforce multi-factor on all of your cloud services that you use. All right, next, we're going to talk about ransomware because honestly, ransomware can sink your company instantly. It's not something that we like to take any risk with. And in fact, even in 2023, there was a 95% growth in ransomware attacks. So this is not slowing down. It's actually the second most common cyber attack behind phishing. So it's still a huge risk. And one thing to know is that you should never pay for the ransom because only 4% of people that pay actually get their data back, which is really sad for the 96% of people out there. But what's worse is that after your attack, your data is then sold on the dark web, usually in about a month is what we're seeing. So the attack itself, crippling your operations, is only half the problem because now you have to think about your patient data that could be very well might be leaked on the dark web soon. So your one protection against ransomware, or one of a few that I'll share in a second, is to make sure that your EDR product, which is like antivirus, isn't just installed, but it's running. And that's why we recommend having not just a proper IT provider that has these applications installed to protect you, but to ensure that they're running. We adopt many clients, and it shock you to see how many where half of their computers don't even have it running. because a software update, broke it from running. So what you can do to get protection against ransomware, first, don't fall for phishing. That's why we love Avanon. Pay that money to get the email protection, because even ransomware a lot of times starts with email phishing. Back up everything and create data management standards. And we'll talk about that in 1 second here. And then never pay the ransom. And if you're shopping for an EDR product, we really like SentinelOne or CrowdStrike. They're both really pretty great. And in our case, if you're a client of ours, we offer a 24/7 SOC on top of that EDR product to make sure that those agents are running on your employees' computers 24/7. Now, in terms of bare minimum to start today for free, make sure that your data is backed up. Really, the more backups, the better. But at least in your cloud storage services, make sure you're using the paid tier that has versioned backups that will help protect you against ransomware so that you can just restore from that backup. Okay, so we still need to talk about passwords. Okay, it's still like the weakest link in this chain. And really the best way we've seen year after year is to use a password manager. Like 1Password is the best for businesses. Apple and Google now have free options as well, but having a culture of like what we call password hygiene is really the best way to go. It's not too costly, and every new employee here at Fuji, and we recommend it to our clients as well, we have 1Password accounts. So all of our work credentials are managed for us, and that helps us create long and unique passwords. I also recommend using a code generator everywhere you can, instead of using a just like an SMS or a text code, because an SMS code can still be hacked, because hackers can now basically steal your digital SIM card and start getting text messages on your behalf. So if you use a password manager like 1Password, that can also generate codes for you. But other apps out there are like Authy or Google Authenticator and Microsoft Authenticator. Okay, so now I want to talk about getting you individualized help. Okay, yeah, if we are looking for the bare minimum here, just get a password manager. You can reach out to us. We're 1Password partners, but you can also go direct to them. So who are we exactly? Well, we're former Apple employees. We've been doing this for 16 years, but we've been hired by everyone from Apple to certain airlines we can't mention, agencies, and the ultra wealthy for cybersecurity and IT services. And what we're really focused on now is bringing the best techniques to small businesses. That's what we love to do. And that's why I want to end today by offering you something that we haven't done before. Most of our cybersecurity audits last between 1 day or 1 week, depending on the needs of the client and the industry. But what we've done is condense that to a 90-minute audit, no strings attached, that we want to provide you. It'll involve a phone call with you that you can book if you scan this code. And within 2 business days of having that call, you're going to receive our essential cybersecurity audit. So I'm really excited to share this. I really hope you take advantage of it. And because of the security nature of the topics today, instead of having like a separate section for Q&A, what we're going to do is invite you to ask those questions in that call that you can book with that link. So thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you next time.